This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's my great pleasure to be here helping you play the guitar. In this video, I'm going to explain minor 13th chords, and then once I've explained that type of chord, we'll take a look at some voicings that work well on the guitar for minor 13th chords. And then, of course, we'll jam together on a chord progression using these voicings, which will allow us to practice them in all 12 keys. We'll do that right along with bass and drums accompaniment, which is super helpful and super fun, so it's going to be great. This video accompanies lesson 25 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 method book. In the book, we're going to start off on pages 174 and 175. I'm going to supplement the information found there on those pages here in this video, sort of demonstrate that. And then we're going to jam together on number 4, chord progression number 4, found on page 147. So it's going to be great. Now, minor 13th chords. So we've been learning how we can add 9ths, 11ths, and 13ths. To 7th chords. So we've learned about 7th chords previously. In the last video, we learned about adding that 11th. Here in this video, we're going to look at adding the 13th. So the 9th, the 11th, and the 13th are steps 2, 4, and 6, 1 octave higher. So that's where that comes from. When we add a 13th to the chord, it implies that we can have a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 as well. But we don't have to have all of those. We can omit the 5th, which we almost always have to do, because it's hard to have the 13th and the 5th with our limited number of strings and limited number of fingers. We can't include all 7 of those pitches on these voicings, in these voicings. So the 5th is usually the first to go. And then the 11th usually doesn't happen on the guitar with a 13th, though there could be an occasion where it does, but it's not as common. The 9th sometimes does, the 9th sometimes does not. But what needs to be there is the root, the 3rd, and the 7th. So with a minor 13th chord, this is a minor 7th chord with the 13th added and possibly the 9th and or the 11th as well. So that has a root, a flatted 3rd, a 5th, and a flatted 7th at the core, and then of course we can omit that 5th. Then the 9th, 11th, and 13th. 9th, 11th, and 13th. So this chord would sound kind of like this. Now this voicing doesn't have the 11th or the 5th in it, but it's got a 9th and a 13th. So minor 13th chords, and you can see some examples of chord symbols there at the top of page 175. We're going to have a root, something telling us it's a minor chord, lowercase m or a minus sign, and then we'll see the number 13 in place of the number 7. So that 13 tells us it is a 7th chord with the 13th added. We could also have the 9th and the 11th if we choose to do so in the voicing. Okay, so let's take a look at these voicings here. A couple different examples, and you can finger them this one differently, this first one differently than is written up here on the board. You can have 1, 2, and 3 instead of 2, 3, and 3. I decided to go with the 2, 3, and 3 up here on the board. In the book it actually shows the 1, 2, and 3. So sometimes there's variations to how we actually finger these, but where the notes go, that part stays consistent. So with this one, this is our 6th string root form. Over here we have our 5th string root form. Of course, wherever we put that note along the fretboard, whatever actual pitch that is on, that's the version we're playing. I'm going to go ahead and stick that on a C at the 8th fret of the 6th string. So I'm going to demonstrate C minor 13. Then I'm going to take my ring finger and play on in that same fret on the 4th and 3rd strings. I like this fingering because it matches the minor 9th one we've done and the minor 13th, or minor 11th, sorry. It keeps that middle finger there where we're familiar with finding it. That's why I like this voicing. So ring finger, and then pinky's going to go 2 frets higher than the root on the top 2 strings, and we get a minor 13. Now, with this one, you can omit the top string. That's the 9th. The 13th is sitting here, so you can do it with or without the 9th added. But there's a C minor 13 chord. Now, with the 5th string form, we're going to have a similar setup, which is nice. Middle finger is going to be at, in this case, on the F, which is at the 8th fret of the 5th string. I'll just demonstrate it there. Index is going to go 2 frets lower on the 4th string. Ring finger on strings 2 and 3 there at the same fret as the root. And then pinky goes 2 frets higher on the top string. And we get a minor 13th that also has the 9th. Sounds super cool. Love these sounds. So it may help you to go back and forth between these two voicings. Another reason that I like this fingering here is it lines up with the fingering for the fifth string form, makes transitioning from one to the other a little bit easier. You can practice going back and forth. Here in the video, though, I'm going to go ahead and jam with you on the chord progressions. So, number 4, chord progression number 4 from page 147, which brings up a point. That chord progression comes from lesson 22, where we first learned our minor 7th chords. We're going to insert these 13th chord voicings, even though the chord symbol doesn't call for it. So as I've explained in other videos, when we're playing with 7th chords, a lot of times the chord symbols will just be written at the 7th chord level, and the extra colors that can be added, 9th and 11th and 13th, won't be specified, but as a player we can choose to add them when we want to. So we could choose with a minor 7th chord to add these colors on, or even the minor 11th or the minor 9th options as well. So we are going to practice that here, and with that in mind, you could actually play through any of the chord progressions found in lesson 22 that have the minor 7th chords in them for additional practice if you want to. But we're just going to do here together this one that goes around the circle of force. It's a familiar progression to us. Now we'll just be inserting these voicings. I'm just going to use the do-dot strumming pattern. This is going to happen 3 times. A slower tempo, a little bit more middle tempo, and then a little bit faster tempo. So 3 times we get to practice this chord progression together. It's going to be great. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, awesome! Can you believe how many chords you've been learning? This is amazing. As we continue in the lesson series, we're going to move on to lesson 26 in the book. We're going to learn about augmented and diminished chords. So it's going to be great. Take care, and I'll see you again. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.